Armor Digivolution evolution lines. Yes, this is a storied series at this point on the channel, but we are exploring what it might look like if Armor Digimon got full evolution lines. And this time, it's the turn of the Light Armor Digimon, a very, very peculiar bunch. And yes, this year we will be fixing the Light Armor Digivolutions too. But on today's video, let's explore what their evolution lines might be. What is up, digital companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to your first Armor Evolution Lines video of 2025. I don't know, this month's weird. And yeah, the Digi-Egg of Light is a weird one. Of course, in Digimon Adventure 02, it results in Nefertimon, a pretty obvious merging of the cat-like qualities of Gatomon with the armor, introducing some holy elements and, of course, Egyptian elements. So you'd figure that the Egyptian theme would be something that would carry through for the other evolutions we didn't see in 02. But no, we get gargoyles, a lot of aquatic creatures, something from Aztec mythology. It's a bit of a weird mix. Beginning with the Digivolution line for Nefertimon, well, of course we know that a depowered, tail-ringless Gatomon becomes Nefertimon. Nefertimon's power level is all over the place. Of course, it is a level 4 in the card game, but so is Magnamon. My argument has always been that the reason that they took away Gatomon's tail ring was to put her on a power level on par with the other rookies of 02. So therefore, you can extrapolate that Nefertimon would then be about a similar power level to the other armors. And given that Armor Digimon gave way to the champion forms, Armor is kind of like a low-level adult in power level and evolution level, I guess, in my opinion, with of course Digimon like Magnamon acting as the exception to prove the rule because they are special Armor Digivolutions, golden Armor Digivolutions. If the 02 champions are kind of supposed to be something of an upgrade once they manage to defeat the Dark Towers, I don't think champions in 02 are meant to be much stronger than them. So back to the point, Nefertimon's rookie, I guess, would be depowered Gatomon, that you could use Seahomon there, of course, that's happened before. As for an evolution, I've talked about this before, I just really like preserving that Egyptian theme. So Nefertimon to Bastemon and then Ancient Sphinxmon or Anubismon just feels like a pretty big no-brainer to me. I especially like Ancient Sphinxmon as it kind of ties into that little bit of dark ocean side we've seen Takari before, and of course Ophanimon fall down mode in Tri. But Anubismon isn't, you know, the most holy or light Digimon either, so both work. Then is Gargoylemon, and this is Veemon's light Digi-Egg evolution, and go figure, once again, Veemon gets treated very well here. It looks like Veemon with a holy energy going on. It's got the angel wings, it's all here. Its evolution, though, is a little bit tricky. To me, it makes the most sense that Gargoylemon acting as a champion would digivolve to Manticoremon. They are visually similar Digimon, and they do have an established connection, as in Manticoremon's concept art, we saw it being linked directly to Gargoylemon. This connection also isn't that weird, because it is said that originally Gargoylemon was a devil Digimon, and despite being a virus and a demon beast Digimon, Manticoremon is still employed and used by angel species Digimon, so it's not that crazy of a departure that you might think. Plus, Manticoremon's got a lot of blue going on, which keeps up that theme from Veemon. As for the Mega, well, you could go Seraphimon. I think intentionally Seraphimon and Manticoremon have this similar cloth that kind of dangles down, and their heads are covered, I guess. But yeah, that's TK's Mega, so let's not use that. I do think an Angemon variant might work, though. You could go with something like Slash Angemon here, which of course would preserve the blue of Veemon that we have in this line, as well as kind of turning the claws, I guess, of Manticoremon into these slashing blades, and overall is a good evolution, I think, of Manticoremon visually. Or if you don't want to redeem it and make it an Angemon with the crest of light, again, tap into some of that darkness, the opposite of light, I guess. You could even go with a Chimeramon or Golfmon, but nah, I think Slash Angemon. Seahomon, this is our first fish or aquatic creature in the Digi-Egg of Light, and I'm still confused why this is a thing, why this is the theme they went for. Is it like light not being able to penetrate to the depths of the ocean? I really don't know. Anyway, Seahomon is Armadillomon's light Digivolution, and maybe that's because of the whole Submarimon connection. I really don't know, but I do think it's interesting that Seahomon is kind of this, well, actually it looks like a megaphone, but I always think it's a trumpet, kind of like a brass band Digimon under the ocean. I'm thinking of Sebastian's song from The Little Mermaid, I guess. And that's why I do think a pretty decent evolution for Seahomon, bearing in mind it is an Armadillomon Digivolution, would be Shogun Gekomon. They have that kind kind of trumpety connection, I guess. Plus, Shogun Gekomon is an amphibian, and given that Armadillomon can become Digmon or Submarimon with its Digi-Eggs in 0-2, that kind of also makes it a bit amphibious, I guess. You could also go with Sirenmon, which has a musical theme, but I don't know, I just don't like it for Armadillomon specifically. Now for a Mega for Shogun Gekomon, you could go with Emperor Gekomon, the custom art Digivolution we made a couple of videos ago, but of course I try not to use custom art too much in these videos, so you could maybe lean into femininity of Angelmon and the Crest of Light and go Armadillomon, Seahomon, Sirenmon, and Venusmon. The goddess Venus upon her shell on the waves, you know, that makes sense, but the Armadillomon of 0-2 does generally present masculine. So if we are keeping Seahomon becoming Shogun Gekomon, I think a funny evolution could be Karnamon, the Celtic deer Digimon with, yeah, a bunch of horns for horns. I just think that horn, trumpet, megaphone, I guess, vibe is too funny to pass up, even if the evolution line feels really random. But you know, Armadillomon ending up as a quadruped is not the worst thing ever. Someone in the comments is going to be mad at me about this, but you know, throw out an aquatic or amphibious Digimon there if you want to, let me know. Harpymon, for some reason I initially thought I was going to struggle, and then I realized, given that Hawkmon is the Digimon that Armor Digivolves to Harpymon with the Digi-Egg of Light, Harpymon becoming Sylphimon and then Valkyrymon is really a no-brainer. While I try not to reuse Digivolutions like I didn't use Seraphimon earlier because it's TKs, in this instance, Sylphimon and Valkyrymon, half of that combination's partner is Yoli, the same partner of Hawkmon. And Harpymon is Hawkmon plus the Digi-Egg of Light, Kari's crest, Gatomon's crest. It's literally Gatomon plus Hawkmon, resulting in Harpymon, power-wise. Which, yeah, would be a slightly depowered Gatomon plus Aquilamon, which is Sylphimon. I really don't think we have to do something different here because it makes all the sense in the world that basically the exact same power set with a slightly less evolved Digimon would just end up evolving into Sylphimon and Valkyrymon. Coatlmon gets very interesting. It is Wormmon with the Digi-Egg of Light, and Coatlmon is based on the Quetzalcoatl. I always mess that up. I did look up a pronunciation for this, but it is not consistent. Please correct me in the comments. And interestingly, the Quetzalcoatl is based on Aztec and Nezha mythology, and now we have recently a really cool new Aztec-based Digimon in Coatlmon, a Digimon that rules over rain and thunder, and while it is kind of treated as a level 7, we can use it as a Mega. There's absolutely no reason not to, and I think we just kind of have to connect these two Aztec Digimon together, especially as I can kind of see how the green hair, or whatever you want to call it, on top of Coatlmon could transition into that big lush grass of Coatlmon. However, as far as I'm aware, we don't have a suitable ultimate or perfect level that also keeps an Aztec theme. However, while named from Buddhist mythology, I do think the Deva Sandiramon would work pretty well here. Obviously, visually from Coatlmon, they're both serpents, though perhaps less good to bridge into Coatlmon. But also, snakes and serpents have a big presence in Aztec culture and art, and indeed the Quetzalcoatl itself is based on serpents, so I do think this is a connection that works overall. And because of that serpent connection, I actually might want to choose Orochimon instead, as it's a nest of serpents. And this plume on its chest could generously be interpreted as hay, which could turn into the lush grass of the rain and thunder god Coatlmon. You know, when the rain falls on the hay, it somehow rejuvenates back into grass. I'm talking out my ass. But interestingly, there could be another Aztec connection here, as there is an Aztec cultural goddess called Chicomecotl, literally the 7 serpent, and Orochimon is comprised of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, damn it, 8 serpents. Ah, so close. I really thought I had something in the planning stages here, but there's that one little head in the official art, which is just tucked back in there. It's easy to miss. God damn it. This is ultimately what I'm going to pick. Wormmon, Coatlmon, Orochimon, Coatlmon. There's probably something else we could use there. I was tempted by Gilead Humon, but obviously that's jumping into like Scottish folklore. I don't know. I like this one personally, but if you've got an idea, let me know. And then finally, my favorite Digi-Egg of Light Armor Digivolution, Manbomon. Listen, Manbomon is a design I actually think is pretty great. It's a fun little sunfish with boxing gloves and a tail propeller. It's very Digimon. I just hate that this is the Patron Light Armor Digivolution. Given that Gatomon and Patamon are so kind of synonymous with each other, getting a lot of matching pair evos, Angemon, Angelmon, and indeed Nefertimon and Pegasusmon, I just personally think that matching pair vibe should extend to all of their Armor Digivolutions. And when you see that Gatomon with the Digi-Egg of Hope becomes Oryxmon, that's not a terrible matchup to Pegasusmon. Manbomon Digimon though, I just don't think it works. Well, yes, I get that it's a sun fish, sun light. They're going for some kind of aquatic theme with the Digiegg of Light in some elements for some reason, although that's also not consistent. When we fix this, I'm straight up going to do a completely different Digimon, but I kind of want to do something that at least makes it feel like the whole line works for Patron. Now, obviously, due to my disdain, I think the funniest thing to do would have it become Dagomon, the Cthulhu Mythos Digimon, and then Leviamon, because, you know, I hate it so much it's evil. I don't know. Another fun connection that I've not really thought about until making this video is that Manbomon would be a great evolution at the Mega level into Pukumon, and that would make him British, which is just funny to me. Though it's really hard to make a evolution in between there, as there's not really another punch, glove focused aquatic Digimon of the ultimate level. You could go Giromon or maybe even Divamon, I guess. But given this is a light armor Digivolution, Marine Angemon would really help make this Evo feel less stupid to me. And maybe the gap between Manbomon and Marine Angemon could be something like Huankunmon. It's pinkish and red. Or you could even go with Sirenmon that I talked about earlier. Sirens are of the sea, and it would kind of help turn the more random fish element of Manbomon into a kind of wholly aquatic Digimon vibe for the full line, and it would mean that despite the fact that Marine Angemon isn't technically Angemon species, Patamon would still become an Angemon in some ways. I kind of like that. So that is it. What I would give as full Digivolution lines to the Light Armor Digieggs, and yes, we will be fixing these evolutions at some point in the future this year. That series is finishing this year. Nefertimon digivolves from Gatomon and then becomes Bastemon, and I think Anubismon, but I do like Ancient Sphinxmon. Gargoylemon digivolves from Vmon and then into Manticoremon, and I am gonna go with /Angemon. Seahomon digivolves from Armadillomon into Shogun Gakomon, and I'm just gonna use Kernamon, sorry guys. Harpymon, absolute no-brainer, digivolves from Hawkmon and into Sylphimon and Valkyriemon, I love that. Coatlmon digivolves from Wormmon into Orochimon and then Tlalokmon, and Manbomon digivolves from Patamon and becomes Sirenmon and Marine Angemon. Let me know your picks in the comments down below. Of course, I'm always excited to hear from you. And thank you to my sovereign level patrons, ZDK14 and Ram McGrayfire over on patreon.com/Karn EX, and everyone else over there on Patreon. I appreciate you all very much. And my YouTube channel members here on YouTube. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we go digital. Bye-bye.